We are officially live. Let's see what happens. I really want to watch this. I'm going to pull this up. What else do I want to watch? I don't know. It's been a while since I've been live, but I'm really happy to do it, to be back. The multi-stream. Oh. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome in. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yay, we're live. What happened to the high-rise apartment? I had a baby. And an apartment with a baby is just not a good idea. I wanted to have a yard and, space to play with her and be able to walk outside without going on the elevator. Stuff like that. That was really the only reason. I do miss that apartment, though. It was like my favorite apartment. What's up, Chase? Chase your dream. Good name. Love your content. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. Oh. What the? How do I move this thing? Weird. I can't move it right now. All good. So yeah, we're live. This is the first time I've live streamed in months, maybe even longer than months. So please forgive me if I'm a little weird on this. It's honestly been a long time. But I want to do this way more. In fact, this is what I want to be the default for my channel, is to just literally hang out with you guys. Because I think it's the best way to make content, personally. Like, you guys watch my content and you're saying you like my content, and my content is pretty much entirely raw. Like, I actually don't even edit my videos unless it's some sort of tutorial where, it makes sense to edit it. But when I do edit it, it's just very simple cuts. So since my content's already like that, I might as well just stream and make content out of the streams. Yo, first live with Ari. Hey, welcome, Edward. Your insights are great. Thanks, Ari. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm only gonna make more content. So glad you're liking it. Jacob Thompson, welcome. Do you invest in e-commerce brands? I'm starting a brand and need an angel investor. I do invest in e-commerce brands, but I'm very selective with what I invest in. But yeah, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram via DMs. I actually look at all my DMs. So if you just DM me your brand and your idea, I'm happy to take a look. Otherwise, you can also join the Shopee Lab Accelerator. That's where, I'm investing. This is the primary place that I'm looking to invest in brands, which is the people that join the community, because I feel like then you'll have all the resources to make it successful. So I'll have a better hit rate on my investments, if you know what I mean. Hopefully that makes sense. I do want to watch this video today, guys, with you. That's actually one of the reasons why I want to stream more, is because my watch later library is so big right now. Like on YouTube, I have so many videos that I've been wanting to watch, but I just don't have the time, or I just don't make the time. And I figured, what better way to watch content than with you guys, right? With my community, with you lovely people. And I'm sure you'll find it valuable too, since I want to watch it, right? I'm guessing a lot of you guys are kind of similar to me in a lot of ways. Thoughts on affiliate marketing? affiliate marketing is awesome. It's a really, really great model, especially on TikTok Shop right now. I think it's like absolutely unbelievable what TikTok Shop creators are able to do. However, this is the caveat with affiliate marketing. And there's nothing wrong with this, but it's just something you need to be aware of. When you're running affiliate marketing, you're subject to changes in like your publisher, right? The person that's giving you that affiliate deal, they could take that away from you at any time, right? So all of your effort that you're putting in is not going to compound as well as if you were running your own thing. So if you're actually do affiliate marketing if you want, because you'll learn skills, but I would say try to use those skills to build your own thing, because then you can compound. Yo, what's up, glitches? By the way, guys, I am multi-streaming. So we're also running on Kick and on Twitch. I don't think anybody's watching on those platforms, but I think it'll be better for me to stream everywhere. And in the future, I'll even add TikTok to that, but right now I don't really want to take the time to set that up. Let's see. So yeah, those are my thoughts on affiliate marketing. Hopefully it helps. We need a second channel for manga reviews. True, honestly. I mean, well, to be honest, I need manga recommendations. Like, all I read is One Piece, and I'm all caught up. I'm just living One Piece chapter to One Piece chapter. So definitely need some recommendations on mangas to read. Let me see. Hey man, thank you for your awesome videos, and God bless that sweet daughter you have. Dude, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, that's really nice of you. And you're welcome. I love making content for you guys. Let me read this super quick from Moise Ali. He said, I'm looking to invest more in e-commerce shops, plus e-commerce SaaS businesses. I haven't written a check into the industry since numeral tax as far as I can recall. My investment criteria, e-commerce shops, at least 10 million revenue annually within 2 years of launch. Wow. Close to break even or profitable, CPG, food or bev, SaaS business at least 1 million in ARR within 2 years of launch, not commoditized, e-commerce app, think, refer a friend, review. My goal is your fulfill.io. Nice. So yeah, there's a lot of people looking to invest right now. I'm one of those people, but like I mentioned, if you have an e-com brand or e-com SaaS, my first place that I'm looking forward towards investing is people from the Shopee Lab community. Okay. Let me answer more questions. I'm happy to see you guys here, by the way. I'm reading the chat, so, Berserk and Vagabond, I heard those are epic. I'm definitely gonna write those down for sure. Berserk and Vagabond. Good stuff. Those are really good. Vinland Saga, I've heard that one's really good too. Okay, let's see. You guys are going crazy in the chat. Just kidding, but you kind of are though, actually. One thing I wish Callow Data had is dark mode. Like, that'd be so nice. I need dark mode right now because you guys are typing in the chat and it's like I can't see it very well. Okay, let me see. What questions did I miss? What a blessing. I just wanted to ask you questions. Wow, I'm glad you feel that way. Show any billion-dollar beauty niche store. I got one pulled up right here, man. There's so much. I made this video yesterday on YouLike, and while I was making the video, I just realized so many things. I had so many eureka moments. One of them is I listened to this chat, actually. It was this talk. It was Bill Gates at Stripe. This one. Yeah, as you see, I listened to the whole thing. And in this conversation, he said something so insightful. He said that one of the things that helped him scale Microsoft was at the time when Microsoft was first getting started, or not first getting started, but early on in their journey, he decided to expand into Japan because he was like, well, okay, if we scale to 300 million Americans, like that's a huge market, but what if I just expand worldwide? Then instead of reaching 300 million people, I can reach 7 billion people. And I was like, that's such a simple way to think about it, but it's so true. So when I was reviewing you like yesterday, I realized that their ad library is a global ad library. So they are really going after this worldwide global approach. And so it's no surprise then that they're doing 100 million a month, right? They're doing like 1.5 billion a year. It's because their market is so much bigger, right? It's not because necessarily they're like the most amazing product ever, although it is a great product. But if you've been in the drop shipping space for a while, like you can find products like this. This isn't super innovative. I mean, they are innovative now, like they're doing great things. I'm not knocking on them, but really it's just they're very smart about how they're approaching this market. That's what I thought about. But yeah, this video is super good, guys. I would definitely recommend it. A conversation with Bill Gates at Stripe. It was really good. Okay, let's see. Can you install a plugin to get ChatGPT, watch it for you, and give you a summary? Then you can see which part in the video interests you. Yeah, you definitely could do that. But I like to watch these things on my own too, because when I listen to them, I just get ideas, So I'm not a huge fan of always summarizing everything with ChatGPT. That's not how I use it the most, at least. But that's just me. Can you use Calidata to find trending e-com sites? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is like the biggest hidden secret, I would say, of TikTok Shop, that it's not so much of a secret. And, not to be that guy, but I was talking about this very, very early on with TikTok Shop. But the big secret is that success on TikTok Shop is it literally makes your business trending everywhere else. Especially not everybody's taking advantage of that. It's actually pretty wild. One of my investment criterias right now, if not a lot of people are watching this, so I can share this freely, is basically brands that are trending on TikTok Shop but are not doing anything on Shopify. And there's a lot of them. A lot of these guys, like, their Shopify stores are absolutely trash. It's pretty insane to see. And, they just don't know what they have. So it is a good way to find trending brands. Damn, I don't know how streamers do this. Like, I have like 40 people in the chat and I'm already like dizzy looking at all these questions. I'll get better though. Let's see. Questions. What do you think about copying trends from US in a market with 14 million people instead with less buying power? Absolutely. I mean, it works, but I would just say, like, use that small market as a way to build momentum, right? To build some capital and stuff and then expand into other markets. But yeah, you can dominate those markets, man. And yeah, like 14 million people, even if you get like 1% of that market, it's 140,000 customers. That's a lot. Like, that's like 10 million. If your average order value is like, $100, it's like $14 million. So you can still do really well with that. And I would say, just based on what I'm learning now too, if I was to go into a market like that, since there are less people, I would try to figure out some sort of subscription element, because then, like I said, if you have 100,000 customers, but they're all recurring, dude, that's a huge business. Like, you could exit that for hundreds of millions of dollars. Do you have UK-based people in the community? Yeah, we have a lot of UK members in Shopee Lab. And even at our agency, we've helped probably some of the brands that now in the UK, we've helped them grow. The UK is a great market, man. It really is. Sup, Ari? Hey, guys. Welcome, everybody joining the stream. Let me know, by the way, if you're watching this on Twitch, Oh, I wait. There are people on Twitch. I see. I'm looking at the multi-stream chat. Turn dark mode on. It looks bad. Yeah, true. That's funny. We have one guy on Twitch just like spamming, but that's awesome. Cnox, welcome. Uh, I'm just, yeah, Twitch chat is crazy. Wow. There's just one guy and he's typing as much as you guys are on YouTube. See, that's why I'm glad I'm multi-streaming, because you just never know. Okay, but let me continue here with the chat. I do want to watch some of these things though. I don't want to forget to do that, because that's also the point of me streaming. What do you think of 3D versus product photography? Dude, just use AI. I think 3D is better. Product photography, like if you're asking me about like a business to start, which one of those I would start, I would do 3D modeling instead of product photography. Because product photography, you need a set, there's just so many more, there's a lot more moving pieces, there's more friction. So with 3D modeling, maybe it's a bigger skill set, but it's also way more replicable, way more scalable. You can do it with people all over the world. You can hire talent everywhere in the world. Hi, Ari, do you recommend small custom batch orders in the startup phase or just sell non-custom? Yeah, I mean, if you can do small custom batches, that's great. But it just depends on what you're selling. I would say definitely at the beginning, though, keep your batch size pretty small if that's what you're planning to do. If you're planning to sell something custom, just keep the beginning batch size small so that you can test it with less risk. Thank you for replying, bro. You help a lot and motivate us to work hard. I think love from India. Shout out to all the Indian people out there. I really want to visit India. I had a quote that said, you have to sacrifice something for your dream to come true, or the dream becomes a sacrifice. Damn. That is a great quote. This your first live. Appreciate the value as always, brother. Thank you. It's not my first live, but it is my first live, I think maybe this year. Like, I haven't done any streams in a while, but I used to do streams a lot more, and then I stopped. I just got busy and put it off, but now I want to start doing it again. Honestly, it's taken me a while I've been talking to all my team and like my friends about wanting to stream again, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I just keep procrastinating, but I'm here now. Do you have a private supply recommendation? Yeah, so I would use our preferred partner is called Flex Fulfill. He's the supplier that we use for Shopee Lab members, but some notable mentions are Zendrop and Commercive. What do you think about skin health, clear skin supplements? They're great. I mean, it's a very competitive market though, so I would definitely figure out some unique ads that you can make, some unique angles that you can target, but great niche, man. Huge total addressable market. Hello, mate. What do you think about SaaS Shopify apps lately? What is trending? AI stuff is very trending in the Shopify app space. I mean, you guys see we have Smart Reply, and we've been onboarding some enterprise clients, man. We've onboarded multiple 9-figure brands. And yeah, so I don't actually know though that much about Shopify apps, to be fair. But yeah, also my friend Sebastian, he launched Atlas. That's an AI like page builder. So AI apps are just trending right now. AI everything is trending right now, man. It's kind of like the new wave. Oh God, check my Twitch chat. I'm scared. Let me see. People are so crazy on Twitch, man. I wonder if I'll get any Kick comments though, because I'm also streaming on Kick. Thoughts on CPA marketing? CPA marketing is great, especially if you're doing organic. Like, here's the thing. I've actually done, well, affiliate marketing, But I think it works. The least risky way to do affiliate marketing is through organic. Because if you're running paid ads, in my opinion, it's almost better to just build your own thing. I've never been successful with CPA marketing with paid. I've tried it. I've made sales. But you're like when you're break even or losing money, it feels really pointless because it's not even your own store, right? Whereas if you're building your own e-com store and you're break even or losing money, at least you're getting data, customers that you can then remarket to. It just feels like you're building something. So if you are going to do CPA marketing, which I think is a great thing, you can definitely make good cash flow through it. Maybe try doing it organically. That's just my opinion. There's plenty of people that are killing it with paid too, though. I heard UK has a higher chargeback rate. Yeah, they might. I'm not sure. Do you have a private? Oh yeah, I already asked that. 3D looks much better and better conversions. True. Start weekend streams. Hey, thanks for the recommendations. I'm definitely gonna do that. I do a stream within the Shopee Lab community every weekend, but I definitely want to stream more on YouTube and Twitch and whatnot too. So if you guys are more available during the weekends, then maybe I will do that. Oh, not for dropship? Well, yeah, I mean, there's not really going to be, just use Alibaba, Alibaba has all the suppliers. Okay, sorry, procrastinates too. Yeah, man, I'm just like you guys, I procrastinate. Sometimes I'm a little bit lazy, but I'm very consistent otherwise. Would you like to collab maybe even build SaaS? Maybe. I mean, it has to be a good opportunity. Like I already have a great team, a great development team as well. Like we're building we're building apps, we're building software. So it just has to be the right opportunity and partnership. Yeah. But I'm open to, just let me know your idea and how you would contribute to it and stuff like that. What do you think on clothing brands right now? Clothing is a great niche. It's actually the third biggest niche on Shopify as a whole. So great niche. What I like about clothing, I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like about it. What I like about it is that it's actually a big total addressable market because everybody wears clothes. Also, what I like is that there's a higher lifetime customer value because people like to shop for multiple clothes. Like people are always shopping for new clothes. But what I don't like is that there's so many sizes and SKUs, and that's a pain in the ass. So cash flow is tough for clothing brands unless you're drop shipping. But even then, like no matter what, at some point in your journey, if you want to have a good customer experience, you will need to order stock. Even if it is in China, you'll still need to order stock at some point if you want to have a branded experience, which you should if you want to build a big business. So that's what I don't like about it. It's just kind of more complicated logistically. What do you think about validating products with affiliate offers, then building a brand later in the same market? I don't know. I don't like that as much either because if you're going to spend money validating an offer through affiliate marketing, like you might as well just, if your plan is to build an offer that's similar to that affiliate marketing offer, you might as well just build that offer and run it for yourself. So that's my opinion on it. With that said, don't let me stop you from testing affiliate marketing. It's always better to just take action on things than to just wonder. It's better to get data, right? It's better to just test and get like concrete answers than just like hypothetical answers. So I've seen some CPA offers, for example, for like supplements that I would test myself, and they give like 80, like very high CPAs, like $100 CPAs for like a $200 offer. But again, since I know e-commerce very well, I would just rather find like that same supplement through like a custom, like a private supplier. So maybe I don't have to order a ton of inventory or any inventory. Like you could just run it without the product even existing yet, just to get market validation. um, and just try to copy the affiliate offer. Because then again, let's say you break even on that offer. If you're running it for an affiliate, you get nothing out of that. You get literally nothing out of that. But if you're running at break even and it's your offer, you're getting customers, you're getting data that you can use to compound, right? You can get emails, stuff like that. Hey, first time catching you live. Love your store reviews. Hey, thanks, Riker. How many brands have I invested into? Oof. 3. And that doesn't count incubations, right? Like that's like brands that I've actually just invested money into, not brands that I've started from scratch with my team. Can I ask you questions here? Of course, that's what we're here for. All right, what do you think is more important? Self-education, skills that really matter, or school? Please help us. We're struggling, bro. I think I think school, unfortunately, right now is just like so behind. So self-education, 100%. But you can do both. It's the same thing with a job, right? Like I think this is just my opinion, but I think it's right. I don't think jobs are a bad thing at all. I think you should have a job. You should get a job, and then just use your spare time to build something. There's so many reasons for that. Number one, because then you can build up capital, and you need capital. Like no matter what, you're gonna need money, and if you actually the people that have more money, it's way easier to make money when you have more money. So like get a job, make some money, and then use that extra time to build something. It's going to be better for you. You know, you're going to be able to actually build capital. You're going to be in a way better emotional position where, you know, you're not going to, like if you only have 2K to your name and no job, you're going to be in a very like desperate emotional position, and that's never a good place to be mentally. So yeah, it's the same with school. Like I would say if you don't have something successful, like don't drop out, just continue your path in school so you can get a good job. And then, but on the side, make sure that you're, you know, grinding. That's just what I did, you know, and it worked out. So I was actually doing a double major in college. So that's like extra work. And I was working a server job at like a high-ish range restaurant, and you know had a girlfriend and social life, like so you can do it. You can definitely do it. It doesn't take that long to run an ecom business, to be honest. Are you doing ecom too? Yeah. If you already have 15K capital, would you start dropshipping or going the branded route immediately? Yeah, I would go the branded route, but I would still use dropshipping. Like, there's just it's hard to explain if you haven't been in the space for so long, because people just get very stuck on like labels, you know, like, oh, this is a dropshipping store. Oh, this is a brand. To me, what a brand is getting people to come back to your store. And I've had multiple dropshipping stores where we get returning customers. So does that mean it's not a brand? To me, that doesn't mean it's not a brand. To me, that's still a brand. So I think dropshipping is a great vehicle for starting your business, especially for learning skills and like understanding market, like demand, product market fit, without a lot of risk. So, and you know, for example, let's say Zendrop. With Zendrop, you can dropship and brand your products. So, you know, that's how I would start personally. What tools can I use to find trending products? Honestly, just go on TikTok. Just go on TikTok and browse for free. That's one of the best ways, and it's free. So the idea is to build AI tools that automate angles testing and reduce ad spend. Oh, I like that actually. That's a good one. Does ecom work for very high ticket stuff like handcrafted furniture for like 5-10K? Absolutely. Some of the biggest e-com stores are furniture brands like Wayfair. It's really hard to find good products to dropship. So far, what I do is just browse through CJ Dropshipping using any software like Minia or Anywhere are very expensive. Yeah, I mean, finding a good idea is definitely not easy. Um, but that's why I prefer like just looking at trends and then finding products within those as opposed to just like a specific product. You know what I mean? Is 30K too high of an investment? I mean, depends on what you're investing in and how much capital you have. If you have $1 million, 30K is not that high of an investment. Thoughts on AI agents? Really cool. It's game changing. It's really game changing. Like even just Smart Reply, which is a social media AI agent for like customer service and sales. Dude, it's pretty crazy. It saves people like hundreds of dollars a month, even thousands of dollars a month. And that's just one thing, right? I'm sure there's agents for so many different things that I haven't tapped into yet. Let's do a case study on a brand right now. Okay, we can, but let me watch this video. I'm just like so caught up answering questions. Best AI UGC for low budget. Let's just say we have something in the works. But otherwise, just use ChatGPT. ArcAds is good. It's just a little pricey. So if you're on a low budget, it might not be the best option. Could you do a collab with Jetco for a YouTube video because both are very similar content? Yeah, why not? Does Zendrop do supplements, chewing gum? Yeah, dude, Zendrop can do anything. What's the best luxury niche for dropshipping? I mean, for luxury dropship, like if you're gonna dropship products in a luxury niche, you need to have like a good branded experience. I would say maybe jewelry. Jewelry is a good one because in like the luxury jewelry, people expect longer shipping times, and you know you can have a branded experience even if it's directly from your supplier. Okay, let's say you're stay at home and make money online while educating yourself, and after that you can start dropshipping, for example, because I don't really want school right now, bro. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go to school, but again, I don't know. I didn't like school that much, but I also didn't like hate it. And you can get work done while you're at school. So personally, I would still go to school. Like if I had to do everything over again, I would do it the same way. I wouldn't drop out of school. I would just work while I'm not at school or even while I'm at school. That way you're at least still building something, you know, for yourself. Like I believe education is still important, and believe it or not, yes, having a college degree does help get a better job. So I would still do what I was doing before. But with my, like, just have the intention of building something that can, you know, quote unquote, get you out of the matrix, right? But you can use the matrix for your advantage at first. And that's what I would do. That's what I did. Okay.
Growth that you've seen in the platform.
I want to watch this video. It's the Cursor CEO. Cursor is crazy. They're valued at 10 billion pretty much in like a year, which is ridiculous. So let me just watch this quick, and I'll keep answering questions.
That you've seen in the platform has been rapid. This is a finance story. You know, it's a funding, it's a access to capital. But what I want to ask you is what the true motivation behind it was. Did you need the money, or was it just because of the interest in you from the outside?
Well, the goal for us with building Cursor is to invent a very new way to build software.
Right.
And I think that the product that we built today is just the very start of that. I think that over the next 5 years, we have a chance to invent a style of programming that looks very different from how you build software today. One that's much higher level and more productive, and is just distilled down to defining what you want to show up on the computer and how you want the software to work. And we have a long way to go there. And there's a lot of research and development to do to get there. And so we took on this capital to invest in frontier AI coding research.
Yeah, they raised $900 million. So that's what he's talking about when it comes to funding. Interesting.
What is unique about Cursor, how it was written relative to what Claude is offering with their similar tool, Windsurf, and other similar platforms?
Windsurf, by the way, got acquired for $3 billion, and I've never heard of anybody using Windsurf. So that's kind of crazy.
Well, the API models, created by folks like Anthropic and Gemini and OpenAI are fantastic and are big parts of Cursor. And they power the technology under the hood, alongside custom models that we develop too, that are specifically very good at parts of programming. And so at this point, Cursor is powered by an ensemble of models. Some of them are API, a lot of them are custom. And we do over 500 million model calls per day on our custom models. And it's that ensemble of models under the hood that separates a useful AI product from one that's just a demo. And it's that ensemble of models that gives you the speed and stability and performance that you need to be really useful.
Vibe coding, that is something that's come into our lexicon. I just want to be shining a light.
I think this guy sounds Irish. I don't know if he is, but that would be crazy. He almost looks like the Stripe founder, who's also Irish. Like, what's going on in Ireland? Like, this is kind of crazy.
Light on who's been using Cursor for that very reason, Sundar Pichai. Just take a listen to what he said a couple of days ago at the Bloomberg Tech Summit.
I wish I could do more, but I just been messing around, be it either with Cursor or I vibe coded with Replit. Compared to the early days of coding, things have come a long.
This vibe, like, people just ruin words, man. Vibe coding was a cool, slang at first. Now it's just like obnoxious. But wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, it must feel pretty cool as the CEO of Cursor to have, the Google co-founder, CEO. Oh wait, he's not the co-founder. He's just CEO. He's talking about Cursor. That's pretty insane.
Way.
How does it feel that the CEO of Alphabet's using what you've made in only the last few years?
Well, it means a lot, and we're honored, and we're big fans of the technology and the company that he and the people working with him have created. I will say that our target market, the person we're really building for, are folks who build software for a living, professional software developers, and our goal is to raise the ceiling. But by doing that,
I love that he mentions like who the target demographic is. That's key, man. That's really key. And they've clearly found product market fit. Obviously, that's why they're worth $10 billion in like a couple years. But funny enough, this applies to e-com stores too. Like, just building. Oh, sorry. I'm just getting all these notifications. But yeah, that's actually really key for e-com too. Like just having a target demographic you're going after and then catering all of your copy, your branding, your whole experience around that. It's going to help you find way more success.
You do raise the floor too, lower the floor. And it's been awesome to see folks that are less technical, executives, designers, product folks, also experimenting with building software end to end.
And the money is through subscriptions. It's made you, many would claim, to be the fastest growing software startup ever. And I'm interested, is the pivot to enterprise really what drives your growth from here? Because you have been about individuals, but you're selling $40 subscriptions for the business. Is that the growth trajectory?
We have a very healthy upmarket motion. A lot of our growth comes from serving larger and larger companies. And we're happy to announce as part of the funding that we're serving over half the Fortune 500 and companies like NVIDIA and Adobe and Uber. And we're very, very happy to be serving those folks' missions.
Going up market, that's He mentioned a healthy upmarket trend. This is great terminology right there. That's some Silicon Valley stuff, but it seems like that's the key to getting to these billions and billions. Super cool. Let's finish this
Question
up,
is
though.
posed all the time. If a larger entity will try and acquire you, has a larger entity tried to acquire you? And when I say a larger entity, I mean a company that is of OpenAI scale, XAI scale, Anthropic scale.
Well, we can't comment on anything like that here.
Actually, in this day and age, you can. Please go ahead.
I will say that we would like to build an independent company. The founding team and I feel like we were made for this opportunity, and we're really energized by the product journey that we have ahead of us. And we would like to do that standalone.
Solid. I mean, not the best interview of all time there, but definitely somewhat interesting. Yeah, I don't know why that was on my watch list. I just saw it. I wanted to learn a little bit more about Cursor because I want to copy that model, but for something else. Let's see. Oh, you invested in Cursor in the private market? That's pretty cool. I wanted to do that for Olipop. I want to invest in Olipop private market. I feel like it's the next Coke. Okay, let's answer some questions here before we move on to the next video, because I have more videos that I want to watch. My watch later tab here is pretty crazy. Oh, speaking of Olipop, I did have this video I wanted to watch, but 40 minutes, that's kind of long. Yeah, I have a lot of videos in here that I want to watch. But let's see. Let's answer some questions, fellas. Oh, best viewers on Power. Okay, I'm getting some bot traffic on Twitch. That's great. I also do e-com stores for other brands. I'm curious if there's a way to automate making stores with my SOPs, low-key, time-consuming. Yeah, I mean, you can just make a template and download the code and import that code into a new store, and then it's the same setup. You just may have to change images and such. Do you test new products with Advantage Plus or CBO? We do both, actually. We do a little bit of both, but primarily CBO. Has anyone tried influencer marketing on travel products? Probably. Do you ever feel guilt selling shady supplements from China? I mean, I wouldn't sell shady supplements from China. So no. How do you manage your SaaS team? Well, we're just partners, you know? So like I've just partnered with people who are amazing, and then I don't really need to manage anything. I'm not a big fan of managing, more so like collaborating. Cool. Okay, now let me see. What else can I watch here that I've been wanting to watch? How Stanford teaches AI-powered creativity. Let me watch that.
I've always been jealous of Winston Churchill. There's a quote, by the way, the history of innovation is the bed, the bus, and the bathtub. It's always these moments when we're not really thinking about work or we're kind of doing something else that good ideas come to us. Winston Churchill, he's sitting in the bathtub and he's dictating a national address to his assistant who's in the other room. She's saying, "Distinguished ladies and gentlemen," don't call them distinguished. They're not this is the Gary Oldman version. They're not distinguished, you know. "Dear ladies and gentlemen, we have gathered together." Get to the point, you know. And I'm watching this going, I would give anything to have an assistant who understood my context and my voice and my intent well enough that I could sit in the bath and they could write my speech. Now, the poorest villager in Palo Alto can have what only Winston Churchill used to have, which is an assistant that has my context and my voice.
That's a great analogy. I really like that. That was pretty funny.
And my intent available to me so that when I'm in the bathtub, I can be dictating my address. That is absolutely technically possible today. I'm Jeremy Utley. I am an adjunct professor of creativity and AI at Stanford University. I've been teaching at Stanford for the last 15 years.
Isn't this crazy, guys? Like, we're literally watching a Stanford professor, and not even just like a whole lecture by him, but a condensed version of it, which saves us time. Like, Stanford is one of the most prestigious schools in the world, and it's literally like 50 or 60K. Let me actually see. Tuition cost $62,000 a year. But yeah, if you add up all the expenses like room and board, supplies and books, $87,000 a year. Wow.
At the intersection of creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship, and now increasingly artificial intelligence. The topic that I'm most focused on right now is helping non-technical professionals learn to be good collaborators to or with generative AI. And then 2 years ago, myself and my partner at the time, Perry Claybon, wrote a book called Idea Flow, which was the canonical book on idea generation and prototyping. So super proud of that. It was the culmination of a dozen years of leading executive programs and the leadership program and the entrepreneurship program at Stanford. And 1 month after our book came out, ChatGPT came out.
Wow.
To me, the fact that I wrote the canonical book on idea generation just prior to AI is like writing the best book on retail just before the internet. AI is a tool to dramatically augment and amplify our creativity, and the truth is, I didn't know a lot about it when the book came out. So 1 month after my book came out, instead of going on a world book tour, I strapped myself back into the front row as a student and said, I need to be learning about this transformative new technology. So I started taking classes, I started conducting research, I started working with and studying teams inside of organizations using the tool to understand the simple question, how does generative AI impact the individual and the team and the organization's ability to solve problems? You can give an AI a prompt. For example, how should I answer this question? Or you could give an AI the question, I want to ask how I should answer this question. What's the best way of framing that question to an AI? Ooh. So you see what I did there?
Oh, that's actually clever. I've seen this work really well with prompting, for example, like UGC creators. Like, we're going to apply this to ecom, but telling the... Sorry, guys, there's a baby crying out there. Yeah, we'll just let her pass. But yeah, asking AI to give you the prompt is really smart.
I asked AI for how to ask AI my question. But you can use AI to use AI, which is you couldn't use Excel to use Excel. PowerPoint can't teach you how to use PowerPoint. Email can't teach you how to use email. AI, strangely, can teach you how to use itself if you think to ask. Go to your language model of choice and just say the following. Hey, you're an AI expert. I would love your help and a consultation with you to help me figure out where I can best leverage AI in my life. As an AI expert, would you please ask me questions, one question at a time, until you have enough context about my workflows and responsibilities and KPIs and objectives that you could make two obvious recommendations and two non-obvious recommendations for how I could leverage AI in my work. You will have one of the most enlightening and illuminating conversations you've ever had, and it's all because of AI's ability to evaluate its own work. What I've seen is non-technical employees are able to do incredible things. Here's one example. The National Park Service called me and asked me if I would conduct a training program for a bunch of backcountry rangers. So they gathered a group of about 60 backcountry rangers and facilities managers into a training session. And I spent a couple of hours over Zoom teaching folks the basics of collaborating with AI. One of the people in that session was a gentleman named Adam Reimer, who works at Glen Canyon National Park. And one of the things I say is you should focus on parts of your work that you dread, parts of your work that you don't enjoy, that you think, I have to do this again. And Adam said, if I have to replace the carpet tiles in the lodge, I have to fill out all of this paperwork. And so to replace a carpet tile will sometimes take 2 or 3 days of paperwork. Then he thought, could AI help me write that paperwork? And in 45 minutes, he built a tool with natural language that saves him 2 days of work every day he makes a statement of work. And then listen to this. Someone got access to that tool and shared it across the other parks. There's about 430 parks in the service. The National Park Service is estimating that the tool that Adam built in 45 minutes is going to save the service 7,000 days of human labor this year.
Crazy.
That's the kind of impact that normal professionals can have even without any technical ability, if only they're given very basic foundational training. People are wanting training.
Do not use AI. Treat it as a teammate. Bro was just saying that you can teach AI or ask AI to teach you how to use AI.
People are wanting to learn AI and how
I get it though. It's more of like a conceptual thing.
Be transformative for their business, but they don't have the basic language. And so while lots of organizations are asking me, how can we work with AI to transform our business? Where I have to start with them is, how do you work with AI? The research I'm familiar with suggests that while on the one hand, AI makes people 25% faster and 12% more work and 40% better quality, it's also true that less than 10% of working professionals are driving meaningful productivity gains from collaboration with AI. To me, there's this enormous gap. I call it the realization gap. We conducted studies both in Europe and in the United States, and what we found is, surprisingly, AI didn't help most people be more creative. In fact, in many cases, the people that we studied, AI made them less creative. And as we started digging into the research, we were surprised and looked at the data. We were confused because you think AI should make people more creative, not less. And we studied the underperformers and then we studied the outperformers. And what we found is the outperformers had a fundamentally different orientation towards AI than the underperformers did. Whereas the underperformers treated AI like a tool, the outperformers treated AI like a teammate. And shifting your orientation from tool to teammate changes everything about the kinds of outcomes that you can achieve working with generative AI. A simple example is, what do you do when it gives you mediocre results? If it's a tool, you get a mediocre result, and then maybe you improve it, or maybe you say, it's no good at doing that. If it's a teammate who's given you a mediocre result, think about the last teammate who gave you work product that wasn't sufficient. You gave them feedback, you gave them coaching, you gave them mentorship, you helped them improve it. And so what we found is the people who treat AI like a teammate coach it and give it feedback, and importantly, get it to ask them questions.
That sounds so obvious. I'm not trying to hate, but that's so obvious. Like, if I paid $87K a year to attend Stanford for this guy to tell me that I just need to give it feedback, I'd be pretty pissed. But nevertheless, maybe this is good advice for somebody that doesn't really use AI very much, but that seems pretty obvious to me. Hey, Ari, quick question. Would you be able to scale my brand if I gave you 50, 60% of the revenue? I've got a reliable supplier and a Shopify store ready. Interested? I mean, you should just join the Shopee Lab Accelerator. If you're doing zero revenue, then I'm not interested, unfortunately. I just don't have time. If you're already at 20K a month or more, then you can fill out our agency form at ChemiLab.com. That's our criteria. But otherwise, feel free to join the lab. I'm happy to help you. Or just, you can join the Discord for free too. We're helping people in there too. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really down to start anything from zero with people unless we've built some sort of working relationship already in some way. And one way to do that is to join the community. Let me see. I'm going to check the Twitch chat, see if anybody... Oh, somebody on Kick commented. That's pretty cool. So let's see. Hey, buddy, I saw your channel and noticed you're streaming some great content. However, you need more followers. It's a bot. Okay, well, that's not bad. At least we got some activity on Kick. I'm multi-streaming right now.
The fundamental orientation a lot of people take towards AI is, I'm the question asker, AI is the answer giver. But if you think about AI like a teammate, you say, hey, what are 10 questions I should ask about this? Or what do you need to know from me in order to get the best response? So things, for example, like you have a difficult conversation coming up with a coworker. Did you know you could leverage a large language model to role play that conversation? You can get an AI to interview you about your conversation partner and then construct a psychological profile of your conversation partner and then play the role of your conversation partner in a role play and then give you feedback from the perspective of your conversation partner on how you approach the conversation. That's something you can do today. And there are many things like that. I call them drills, but there are many things like that where if someone will just shift their consideration set of what are the things I can do with AI, they end up discovering applications that I've never even dreamed of. I've been doing this stuff for 2 years, and my students are regularly coming to me with use cases I've never imagined that landed them in a destination I could have never predicted and they could never have predicted. For me, I never thought about myself as a creative individual.
Hey guys.
Now I fully and fundamentally believe every single human being has innate creative capacity. Every single one of us. What the D School has helped me do is unlock others. Everyone has this latent creative capacity. Once I was teaching a class with a hip hop artist named Lecrae. He's a multi-time Grammy award-winning artist, and he and I are teaching a class to graduate students at Stanford, and we're giving them the assignment, you've got to go get inspiration in the world. And what I can see is it's like looking at myself in the mirror 10 years ago, because all of the business school students in the class are going, inspiration? And I just felt, Lecrae's clearly the creative legend in the room. I said, Lecrae, what do you think about inspiration? And of course, as only a hip hop artist could do, he dropped a bar. He said, inspiration's a discipline. And I realized in that moment, for these students, it's not even on their radar as a tool, let alone a routine part of their life. But the most wildly creative individuals I know are disciplined about cultivating the inputs to their thinking because they know it affects the outputs of their thinking. And so even in regards to AI, I push people, what is the inspiration you're bringing to the model? Everybody has the same access to the same ChatGPT. How do I get a different output than you do? It's because of what I bring to the model. And what do I bring to the model? Certainly I bring technique, but I also bring my experience.
Yo,
I
what
bring
up,
my
Custin?
perspective. I bring all the inspiration I've gleaned from the world. That's what gets a user a differential output from a model.
Yeah, this is good, but like, man, it's kind of basic. It's kind of very basic, but believe it or not, this has 1.5 million views, so I guess it's good content. Stanford professors are getting after AI. What do you think about Hims? Dude, Hims is a crazy company. I'll show you what I think about Hims. $1.5 billion in the US last year. 69% increase. That's kind of funny. That is pretty ironic. But yeah, they're an insane company, man. And they're actually publicly traded too. So if we go Hims stock, we can see, ooh, down 5% today. Ouch. Yeah, they're worth $12 billion. $12 billion market cap. That is insane. But look at this chart. This is a beautiful wave. I mean, this actually looks like it's gonna probably come down to about, let me see, let me do some technical analysis here. This is probably gonna come down to the 40s and then probably go back up. So if I were to buy some HIM stock, I would probably buy it between, yeah, like 39 and $45. I'll join the Discord group. I actually have another project in mind too. That's why I asked. I'll send over the details and you can see which one is worth pursuing. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's what Shopee Lab is really good for too. It's an accelerator. So if you join, you're not only going to get the tools you need to build your thing, but we can always invest in it as well if I like it. Bro did Wall Street bets analysis. Yeah. Yep. The most viewed content I see is usually the least helpful and vague. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm learning from this. I feel like I got milked for my time here. No offense. Like, this is really good. Maybe if, like, I've never used AI before in my life, but I think if you just use ChatGPT for, like, a week, you'll probably know, like, these things will be obvious to me, or they were to me at least, but yeah. I feel like we should finish it though, you know. If I'm going to be farming content, might as well give them the full watch time.
A 7th grader in Ohio, who I don't even know what her name is, but her teacher asked, what is creativity? And she put a Post-it note up on the board that says, creativity is doing more than the first thing you think of. And that's my favorite definition,
like
because it speaks to a profound cognitive bias that we hold. It's been called functional fixedness, it's been called the Einstellung effect, but the basic premise is humans tend to fixate on an early solution and be satisfied. Herbert Simon called it satisficing. But it's the idea that if we get to good enough, it's enough. And that's why I love that 7th grader's definition. Creativity is doing more than the first thing you think of.
I like that. By the way, guys, let me put you on reverse osmosis water. Think different. Yeah, that is a brilliant. We got a brilliant investor in the chat right now. This is what you can distill trading down to. I would say it's 50-50. Maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down. Very true, man. Very true.
It's pushing past good enough. Is the definition of creativity changing in the age of AI? I don't think so. The reality is, with AI, it's now easier than ever to get good enough. If your goal is world-class, if your goal is exceptional, then what you want to be prompting for is actually volume and variation. And that takes time.
True.
It takes time to not only read through it, but to sort it and to process it. But fundamentally, the definition of creativity doesn't change in the age of AI. It's just that the human's ability or inability to arrive at a creative state is affected not only by the technology, but also by their stated or unstated objectives in collaborating with it.
So I'll give you the simple summary of what he just said right there. He said, just prompt it more, you know, just refine it. You know, take the result that AI gives you and just make it better. That's true, though. It's true. It's good advice. It's true. You don't want to just take the first answer that AI gives you and just take it as good enough. Just make it better. It takes not that much longer. But actually, you know, on a serious note, if you're like, I've been making a lot of social media posts with AI for like brands and things like that, just to test it out. And yeah, you can get pretty specific. Like, you can give it, for example, inspiration pages from other brands that you like and say, you know, try this design style, and like, you know, go back and forth with it a lot, and you can get some pretty amazing results.
Creators don't need to be afraid of AI. Creators need to dive in. They need to lean in. Creators are about to be unleashed in a way they've never been unleashed before. The only correct answer to the question, how do you use AI, is I don't. I don't use AI. I work with it. When you start working with AI, it will change everything.
Not bad, man. I'll give it a like. We'll subscribe to the channel. Oh, wait, I am subscribed. Yeah, that was not bad. Not bad. Yeah, there's so many videos I want to watch. These morning brew videos, they've been making some bangers lately. Like this one. I started a plumbing company to sell it to private equity. Like, that sounds kind of interesting and fun to watch. But I think we'll wrap it up here, guys. This has been a great stream. I think it's a good, just hour that we just spent together. We got some good content from it for sure. I do have a clip channel, by the way, a second channel, and that's where I'll be posting like short 2-minute clips of these streams. And that's pretty much it. Hope y'all enjoyed this. We'll do this again a lot more. I'm trying to stream at least 2 times a week. And ideally for longer. I want to stream for like 2 hours, but I got some things I got to do with the team. Otherwise, I'd stream for a lot longer. But thanks, everybody. This was a pleasure. I'm going to do these a lot more often.